Hey, good morning, or afternoon, or good night. Hello. So I'm Melissa Weber from YogiStoned, and I'd like to invite you to another flow this morning. Another yoga practice for us to begin our week. A nice way to just get some stillness right away into our energy. I don't know about anyone else, but I've got a little bit of anxiety going on when I wake up in the morning. A little uncertain about how the day is going to go. So I tend to lean towards that getting things done kind of side, and always having a list and always trying to get things checked off that list. And I'm just going to be okay if I don't get some of the stuff checked off. I'm going to be okay if I get like 1 out of, 5 things or 20 things. If I get 1 of those done, I'm good. And a lot of that has to do with just really being focused on that one thing and finding the joy in that one thing that I'm doing. So that's going to be this yoga practice. And after that, we'll see what happens, right? So it'd be nice if we could kind of take that on each day, even each little thing that we have to do during the day. If we can just take that one job, that one to do, we get it done with total presence. It's not always easy, but I tend to like to come to a quote that I've been given this over a few years, different times in my life. I was first given this quote about, I'd say almost 15 years ago by a friend. It's always been hanging in my house somewhere, moving around wherever I need it. And then I received it again from one of my students in teacher training. And I loved when she handed it to me because it was just another gentle reminder to be in the present moment and to be at peace with the present moment. And that's exactly what this is. So it's peace. I'll get a little bit closer. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. No noise, no trouble, or hard work. There might be a little noise and trouble and hard work right here on this mat, just to unroll the mat. But you're going to be at peace with that because that's what you're doing right now, right? It's to be at peace with all of those things, anything that's coming in, to still be okay and centered within ourselves. So let's come on into child's pose. Come on into table, and then you just kind of walk your hips back, sit them back towards your heels, let your knees come wide, and just relax the head down towards the earth. And just let yourself take a few breaths and get into this position, into this shape, as best as what feels good. If you need a blanket or maybe even a pillow or a bolster between your thighs and your shins, you can do that. It's a little easier on your hips this early in the morning or this early in the practice. Just breathing in and breathing out. And letting each breath get just a little bit deeper. And just feeling the way that the head rests on the earth. And bringing some awareness to that space between the brow where the head meets the earth. And just allowing to make that contact.
Allowing the head just to get a little heavier, and the arms to get heavier, and the legs to get heavier, and the belly to stay soft. And then see if you can start to deepen the breath a little bit more. An intentional breath of filling up and emptying out. Bring your palms together and then let your hands come up behind your head. And maybe your palms aren't flush. Maybe you can let your fingertips just touch here. Maybe there's just enough room for you to bring your head, your hands over, just a little bit over your head. But just this gesture, this sign of gratitude can often bring us to a state of peace right away. Just being grateful for even being able to be here on a mat or on a blanket or on the floor, just taking in a chance, taking the time to work with where we are. Opening up the back of the arms a little bit. And then send the arms forward, lift the gaze, let the knees come a little closer together and walk the hands forward. And start to set the heart down towards the earth. You can bring your head back down, depending on how open or tight your shoulders might feel. You know, maybe you just kind of back off a little bit. Your forearms can be down or they can be lifted. This is puppy pose. Most of us living with our animals full time, we get to see a lot of this all day. Ready to just kind of get into the stretch. You can move your hips a little. And start to walk your hands back, nice and easy. And then we're just gonna come into a cat, round in, pushing down through the earth. Inhale, let the belly lower. Let the sit bones lift and the heart open up. And then exhale, round it in. Chin to chest. Inhale, belly lowers, sit bones lift, heart rises. Exhale, round it in. Let's take a few rounds here. Just getting some mobility in the spine. Tuning into the breath. Inhaling, opening. Exhaling, round the back, press into the earth. Feel the shins, the tops of the feet press in. Opening up, maybe even when you're in that cow pose, rocking the hips a little. Just look for what feels good for you. Nice. Come into a neutral spine here, and then we're just going to take some hip circles. So you're going to kind of tip the hips over towards the left or to the right, and then sink the hips down towards the right heel. Cross the left hip to the left heel, then bring the hips slightly out towards the left, and then come forward, and then as you exhale, shift over to the right, and then to the right hip, to the heel, and then left hip to the left heel, then out to the left side, and then bringing the chest a little forward, more weight into the hands, and then you're shifting it back. Taking a few just really easy circles here. Maybe you make them smaller. Maybe they're a little bit more pronounced for you. Right, again, we're all a little different. Right, so just take your time, and then we're going to take one more big circle. Let it feel good. And then we're going to switch it around to the other side. So bring that right hip out to the right, maybe bring the weight into the front body, over to the left, and then back down side to side to the hips. Looking to create a little bit more of a connection to your breath. Sinking back, you exhale. Letting that inhale carry you forward. Sink back one more time. One more nice big circle. And then set it right back into that child's pose. See how that feels now from where you were. Maybe there's a little less trouble and noise and hard work in there. A little more opening or a little bit more of a relaxed body. And then again, bend your elbows, bring your hands together over your head. See how that feels for you. And then bring the hands back down to the earth. Slide your right arm underneath your left arm. Slide your left arm or over your right arm towards the right side. And then we're just in a crisscross of the arms, and we're opening up the back of the body, opening up the triceps. And then we'll unwind the arms, and then we're going to take it in the opposite direction. So left arm underneath, right arm on top. Come on back down. Nice, and then we'll unwrap the arms, and let's send them straight forward again. And then come on up into that table. And then we're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. So spread the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under, and then we're going to lift the hips towards the sky and just rocking a little side to side. If this down dog gets a little difficult, right? If it gets a little bit of too much of hard work, a little too much trouble, just come on down to the knees. Take a pause for a moment, and then you can come back up. Right? Find the peace within you by listening to your body, listening to your breath, listening to the things that you need, right? We can make it a little more peaceful for ourselves. We don't have to work so hard at finding some peace, right? Just let it come to you. About 5 more breaths here. Spread the fingers wide and feel the energy of the forearms moving towards each other. Let the shoulders relax up the back. As you press down through the fingerprints, feel the side bodies lift up and away. Sit bones lifting and the heels just relaxing towards the earth. Smoothing out the breath. Nice. We're going to come on down to the knees. And then we're going to walk the hands forward again into that puppy pose. Let's just see where we are here again. Let the heart drop down. Let the side bodies get long. Maybe come up onto your fingerprints here. Working the shoulders just a little bit more. And then walk the hands back. And then you're going to turn the hands so that the fingertips face you. And we're just going to open up the front of the arms. Let the head come a little more parallel with the spine. Don't let the head hang so much as you kind of let it be in line with the length of the spine. If it's too intense, you can always just turn the hands a little less back, right? And then bring the hands forward again. And we're going to take this right foot and we're going to step it up to the right side. And we're just going to open up the hip just a little bit here. Take a moment here just to bow in. Keep that right big toe mound pressed into the earth. Feel a little activation in that right hip. 3 more breaths here. And then we're going to uncurl or curl the back toes, and we're going to lift off the back knee. So we're in a high lunge. And then we're going to take that right arm to the sky. Opening up and broadening across the chest. You can always stay down on that back knee. And then exhale, bring that right hand down. lower down the left knee, and then we're going to sink it back into half splits. So you'll just take the hips back, either sitting on a block or a pillow. And then just lengthening the chest forward, toes to the sky. And then press the gas, kind of push the foot forward. And then inhale, let go of the gas, reaching the toes up to the sky. One more time, pressing down and then lifting. Feel that nice stretch in the calf. And then we'll come forward back into the lunge. And then we're just gonna step that right foot back. And then extend the leg long out behind you. Press through the heel. And then we're going to take this right leg over to the left. Toes are curled under. Pressing through the heel. And then you can uncurl the toes and press the top of the foot into the earth. Keep looking over that left shoulder. Inhale, slide that right leg back. Keep the foot on the ground and then pivot on. You're just going to bring the heel down and then take the right arm open to the sky again. So real nice long opening across the chest and then a nice long body as you lift that right leg. And rather than let your head fall off to the side, let it be long out towards the top of the mat. Reach that right arm up and over, then take it down, and then reach it back, and then lift it up, and then take it forward, and then down. One more time, big circle. Inhaling, exhaling as the hand comes down. Bring the foot down, bring that right hand back, and then take the left arm up, coming into gate pose. Reaching up and over. So working this right side of the body, lifting up out of the hips in the torso, maybe extending both arms to the sky. Inhale back through center, bring that right or that left hand down, and then let's carry that right foot up to the top of the mat. And so we're going to come off the back knee, pivot on your back foot, set yourself up for warrior one. So you want to lunge into that front shin. Sorry, just a little technical timing there. Back into that warrior one. Nice, we're going to clasp the hands behind the lower back, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders open, lift the chin, opening up the throat here. And then exhale, we're going to come forward, heart leading, and then bring the head towards the earth. Let the chin gently tuck in. Again, working that right hip, pressing into that right big toe mound. Nice strong back leg, thighs lifted, hugging the bone. Nice, and we're going to bring the hands down to the earth. And then we're going to pivot on that back foot. We're going to step the right foot or left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, folding in half. Inhale is going to take us all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up and over the head, palms meet. Exhale, hands thread to your heart center. And then release your hands down to the sides. Take a pause here. Adjust your clothes if you need to. And just find a chance here to become a little more still. And maybe just notice if there's a hum, a little bit of energy happening on the right side of the body. I actually feel a little bit taller when I start to bring my attention and awareness to the right side. My right hip feels more open, my side body feels more open. I almost feel taller on this side of the body, maybe even a little bit more awake, alert, aware. And although I've given it my attention, if I take my attention over to the left side, it feels like it needs a little bit more connection to the right. So we'll balance that out.
But I'm okay with one side not being like the other. Being at peace with that. Nothing too troublesome, right? Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Nice bend in your knees. Really, actually, a lot of bend is going to feel good. Inhale, come up halfway. Maybe straighten the legs a little. Exhale, fold in half again. Let's do that 2 more times. Just coming up halfway. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Get a little chest closer to the thighs. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms up and over, palms meet. And then start to bring the toes together. We're going to sink down into chair pose. Hands to the heart. And then we're going to just feel a little bit of the weight shift out of the toes and into the heels and into a little more 4 corners of the feet. And then maybe send the arms out in front of you. Now, if this is a little too low, maybe you want to come a little bit higher. But see if rather than you bring your knees too far forward, shift them back, shift the hips back. Take about 3 more breaths here. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back through center. Let's rise all the way to standing. Lean back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway for length. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, top of your push-up. Now you can move through chaturanga using the knees here as well. Lower down, bringing the chest and the hips down. Roll the shoulders open, either this cobra, or you can always come into up dog. Let's take 3 breaths here. Maybe looking over the shoulders from side to side. Nice, and then we're going to sink back into child's pose. Let the body just relax back. Hips kind of just melting towards the heels, maybe rocking a little side to side. We're going to take 2 more or 3 more of cobras. Let's see how it feels. Keep the hands planted firmly in the earth, and it can be up dog or cobras, but just making a little bit more movement in the spine. As you take an inhale, we're going to slide the chest forward, kind of slither forward. Let the heart lift. Again, you can lift off the legs, or you can always just come into that cobra instead. Sphinx is an option as well. Might as well throw them all in. Right? They all feel really good. And then you'll press up into that table, back down into that child's pose. Empty the breath. Inhale is going to be your trigger to come forward, cobra or up dog, or sphinx. Exhale, sink back into child's pose, empty out. Let the head come to the ground. Inhale, sliding the chest forward, keep the elbows tucked in. Come on off the knees, or maybe you're kind of down on them. Keep the belly nice and toned. Exhale, sink the hips back to that child's pose. Nice inhale, come on back into that table. We're going to get to this left side now. All right, so let's come into a down dog first. Having that same kind of flow from one side to the other. Although our body is going to be a little bit different from one side to the other. Just allowing ourselves to become a little bit more of a witness as to how the body begins to change, and even how the mind begins to think about the body. Breathing in and breathing out. And this is what we're doing right now. This is on our to-do list. We are
what we're doing, right? You are the top of your to-do list. Breathing is your job right now. That's it. Come on down onto the knees. And then again, turn the hands in. Open up the front of the arms, giving a little respite to the hands and the wrists set in a certain way. Turn them back around. And then we're going to pick up this left foot and carry it on through to the right, or to that left hand. Bring the hands inside the foot. Again, you can come on down onto your forearms. Maybe you stay on your palms. We're just going to press into that left toe mound, opening up this left hip a little bit. Letting the head again be more in line with the spine. If you want to bring the hands or the forearms down breath by breath, maybe they come closer. You can always let the head drop a little bit. And keep pressing that inner left thigh towards the rib cage. Inhale, lifting the gaze. Let's come on off the back knee. Nice long line here. Get that right arm planted, right hand planted into the earth, and then we'll open up that left arm to the sky. Soften the shoulders. Bring the hands down. Lowering the knee again. Let's shift back into those half splits. Now your half splits might also be here where the fingertips are forward and you're not sitting down on your heel. You might sit down on your heel, you might sit on a block. Again, it just depends on your hamstring and the calf. You can always keep a soft bend in the knee. Take an inhale, lift the chest a little. Let that exhale draw you forward towards the foot. Inhale, come forward back into your lunge. Come off your back knee, pivot, but just shifting that back heel down into the earth. And then we'll come on up into that warrior one. If you need to step your back foot a little bit wider, feeling free to do that. Extending the arms towards the sky. You can always take the arms into cactus arms. Just rooting down through that back foot, outer edge of the foot, rooting down. That gentle draw up through the belly. And then we'll catch the hands behind the lower back, interlace the fingers, and rolling the shoulders open and gently just pull the hands down towards the tailbone. And the throat opens a little, and then as you exhale, reach the heart forward. Hips are kind of reaching back, and just bringing yourself inside the left thigh. Arms can reach up and away. Again, your arms might not come that far. They might be a little bit more towards the back of the body. It just depends on how open the shoulders are for you, across the chest, the back, and just honoring where you are. And then releasing the hands down to the earth. Pivot on the back foot. We're going to step the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, fold. Take hold of opposing elbows here and just sway the body from side to side, kind of like an elephant trunk. Sways when the elephant's just looking to soothe, right? To be in the present moment. You know, a lot of times we have stress in our lives way beyond, you know, what we feel sometimes in our capacity. A lot of different changes happening, not only with our physical health, right, but our emotional and our mental health. So checking in, soothing, self-soothing. We're not always even taught how to do that. Yoga's a great teacher of self-soothing. To become peaceful within ourselves, even when there's trouble, even in hard times, even when we think it's gonna not go well. Right? We can bring ourselves a little more peace just by rocking ourselves, by breathing and being fully present. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms up and over, palms meet. Exhale, hands thread to your heart center. And then let the hands fall down to the sides. Close your eyes and feel your body from here. Just allowing the breath to move in and out of the nose. Feel all four corners of the feet. Feel the thighs gently lift. Gentle lift through the belly. Let the heart gently draw upward, lengthening through the crown of the head. Let the chin come a little more towards the throat, and the tailbone lengthens down towards the earth. 5 more breaths here. Offering yourself this opportunity to know that all is well, to be at peace with no matter what is going on around us. This is what can exist within us. Feeling the ground, feeling our centered self takes practice, and that's all we're doing. Yoga is this practice of centering within ourselves, becoming one within our own self. Uniting this breath, our body, our mind, with the intention of becoming more peaceful. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, nice bend in the knees, folding in. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, fold. We're going to sink down into chair pose. Arms are going to lift up. Sinking down into the seat. Take that breath in. Exhale, T-twist to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, T-twist to the left. Inhale, back through center. 2 more times. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, twisting to the left. 1 more time. Maybe you lower down just a little bit more. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back through center, working some big muscles in the legs, lower half of the body. Rise all the way up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up halfway for length. Exhale, let's step it back, top of your push-up. Let's hold here for plank, 5 breaths. Knees are always an option as well. This is a time of trouble sometimes in our heads and in our bodies, but we're going to be at peace with the breath. Hug the forearms a little more together, reach through the heels. When we choose peace, right, we're not choosing this panic. So look for the peace within you. The panic is going to try to be louder at all times. Seek the peace. Lower down to the knees. Lower the chest and the hips. Come on into Sphinx pose. Forearms are going to be out in front like the number 11. Lengthening out through the crown of the head. Maybe the feet come wider. That can be nice for the lower back. And also a gentle hug of the lower abdominals is also going to support the back. Two more full rounds of breath here. the spine down towards the earth. And we're going to bring the arms back behind us. Actually, let's bring the hands to the head and just rock the hips a little side to side. Monday morning, just getting the heart a little more open, the front of the body a little bit more open. So we're going to bring the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers, and we're just going to roll the shoulders open as the arms reach back. Let the gaze just stay down at the earth, and just feel this connection of your hands, of your shoulder blades, of your heart moving forward, and your breath connected here. Pelvic bone plugged into the earth. And then relax the body down. Let the head come down, chin towards chest. Hands can always come to the head. And then take your knees and bend the knees and just sway the knees from side to side at your pace, what feels good. Nice. Now bring the legs down, and you can have them a little further forward or a little wider apart if you have a little back, lower back issues, but we're going to strengthen the back of the body today. So you're just going to bring the head down towards the earth, and your hands are going to come just behind your head, just fingertips resting, no weight on it really, just a little resistance. Keep the elbows high, and then as you inhale, roll the spine up. As you exhale, roll the spine down. Inhale, lifting, elbows reaching back. Exhale, roll the spine down. Let's take this 3 more times. Rolling the spine up. Exhale, roll the spine down. Head towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Hands come under the head. Bend the knees. Sway the legs side to side. Nice. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Make your way back up into that table. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Curl the toes under. 1 more of those downward facing dogs, getting upside down. Lifting through the seat. We're going to take the right leg to the sky. And if you want to bend the knee and stack the hip, feel free to do that. Bring the heel a little closer towards your hip if you'd like. Roll the ankles, spread the toes. And then straighten out the legs. We're just going to cross the right leg behind the left and then reach through that heel. Right heel to the earth, and your left heel kind of lifts. And this is a really nice side body stretch if you want to take your right arm up, maybe take it out. Maybe just keep the hands rooted, maybe the fingertips on the earth. Let's get that nice side stretch on the right side body and through the right leg. And then shifting the weight back into the hands, we'll take that right leg to the sky. Nice, and then we'll set it down next to the left. Toes kind of kiss here. And then inhale, left leg's going to come up. Bending the knees, stacking the hip. Sorry I didn't mention this before, but you can always stay down on that back knee. Okay, so rather than lifting off of it, might be nice to stay down in that table. Otherwise, stay lifted off. And then straightening it out. And then we'll cross it over behind that left leg over the right leg. Pushing through the hands. And again, maybe just coming up onto your left fingerprints, looking underneath your left shoulder. Smoothing the breath out. Looking for that peace within yourself. Using big muscles here, using the arms, using the legs, lifting the hips. Getting that nice stretch, lifting that left leg again. Take it back down to the earth. Then sink the hips back down. Nice, and we'll sink it right back down into that child's pose. Let the knees come apart, and then again, thread the right arm towards the left. thread the left arm towards the right, and just let the weight of the body come over the arms. Coming into this more peaceful state. Sometimes hard work does just bring us into that peaceful state, doesn't it? And then we'll switch it out. So right arm over left. Just balancing things out. And then let's bring the arms forward. We're going to come into that puppy pose one more time. So you come up into that, onto hands and knees, walk the hands forward, and your shoulders might feel lots more open, that your gaze can come forward. You might even rest on your chin a little bit. And then we're going to bring the arms a little closer to us. We're going to come into dolphin. So to do dolphin, you want to think about your arms being in a number 11, but you also want to make sure that your shoulders and elbows are aligned. We don't want the elbows coming too far out to the sides. We want them tucked in. And you can always take your hands so that your hands kind of wrap around the outer edges of your elbows. That's going to give you a good indication of where your shoulders are. It's a nice alignment tip there. And then you're going to let the hands kind of press towards each other and the forearms hug in a little bit, and that's going to secure the shoulders, acting kind of as your hips here now, as if your legs, or your arms were your legs. Okay, so you're going to push down through the arms, and then you're going to push down through the toes and lift your knees. And then we're going to walk the feet forward. You might already be back on your knees again, if this is new for you. And that's okay. Maybe your gaze comes towards your feet or towards the earth. Maybe walk a little bit closer, opening up the back of the body. Nice. We're going to walk the feet a little further back and then come on down to the knees. And then sink it back to child's, or you can come up into heroes, but let the chin stay tucked in a little. And then just take a seat here. And just notice the way the body feels, if you feel a little bit more relaxed in it. If you feel like the work that you've done already is bringing you a little bit more peace, this hyper focus on what you're doing right now can eventually just bring us peace, right? Our worry of the future tends to be the problem causer, right? All right, let's come forward again. Set up the arms, bringing the hands to the outer edges of the elbows, and then taking them into that nice number 11. Drop the heart slightly, and then curl the toes under, and then we'll lift the hips to the sky. Again, your gaze can come towards your feet, or they can come neutral to the ground, or maybe even forward towards your hands. No strain on the neck. And then maybe you lift your right leg towards the sky. Keep pressing through the forearms, and the body's going to lift up and away. And then we'll take it to the other side, taking that right foot down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bring both feet down. And then we'll start to walk. Or bring the knees down. And then you can shift it into that child's pose. And then roll yourself back up into that hero's pose, taking a seat down on your heels, and a few breaths here. Nice, we're going to take ourselves forward once again, into that puppy pose, forearms down, bring the hands to the outer edges of the elbows, get your alignment here. And then we'll curl the toes under, hugging the forearms together. Walk the feet up. And then again, maybe you lift a leg. You might take a few hops here, working just a little bit with your balance. We'll see where I'm at today. I haven't done this in a bit, so just playing. And then come all the way down when you're ready. And let the head relax towards the earth. Rock the hips a little. And then you can walk your hands back into that hero's pose. Come on down onto your left hip. And then swing the legs around out in front of you. And we're going to hug this right knee in. Give it a squeeze. I'm sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to take this right arm, reach it up and over, take it to just behind the hip. And you can just keep this nice hug in. Keep this left leg extended, reaching through the heel. So rooting down through that left leg, right seat. Take an inhale, lengthen. And then as you exhale, we'll just draw the ribs back, the shoulder. Let the chin gently come a little more towards the throat. Smoothing out the breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's unwind. And then we're going to bring ourselves around to the other side. So rooting down through that right foot. You can just keep the forearm inside the knee and push the knee into the forearm. And then take a twist here. Just a little variation of opposing twists here. Keeping the hip nice and plugged in. It's going to definitely work the hip here. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, unwind. Let the sole of this right foot come inside the left thigh. Maybe it comes a little further down. You can always use a block here as well. And then we'll take the hands to surround that left leg. Take an inhale, lengthen out through just feel kind of that lift out through the hips as the hips root down. And then we'll take ourselves forward. You can walk your hands forward, maybe to the calf or the ankle or the foot. Few breaths here. And this nice right side getting a little bit longer. Think of your right chest moving towards your right or your left foot. And that's just going to bring the torso a little more parallel to the earth. Let the back of the head be a little more parallel to the spine and to the earth. Inhale, start to walk your hands up nice and easy. We're going to take this right arm back over, plug it into the earth, press down through the shin and the foot. Take that left arm up and over, opening up into this back bend. Feel some of that work in your right thigh, your left side body. And then exhale, come on down, take a seat. We're going to shift out the legs, so you'll bring this right knee up, set it back down, left leg is going to pull in as you lengthen out your right leg. Hug it in here, sitting up nice and tall. Let there be about a fist distance between your foot and your leg. Right, just giving your sit bones a chance to even out and get things, hips a little more square. And then you'll take your left arm up and over. Maybe wrap that right arm around. You can also hook the elbow, just depending on your body and where you are right now. I feel more comfortable kind of wrapping here today, giving myself hugs. Take an inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, let the ribs draw back, the shoulders, and a nice, easy gaze over the shoulder. Keeping that left leg engaged, or right leg engaged. So we're gonna unwind, inhaling, let the exhale take you forward, and then we'll take it to the other side, right? So maybe just that press of the forearm into the leg, looking to not fall over into that right hip, which I'm doing. Keep that left hip down on the earth, just a little counter twist, nothing too intense. Unwind, make your way forward, and then we're gonna open that left knee, bringing it down towards the earth. Just notice this side of the body. I know my hips not quite as open on this left side, so there it is. No big thing. Right, sitting up nice and tall. Take that inhale, maybe reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, bringing yourself forward. Your forward might be hands to your knee or your shin or your ankle or your foot. Sometimes it's nice to take just one more breath in, lifting the chest. Let that exhale draw you forward. And this is a nice left side body stretch. It's also a bit of a twist, spinal twist here. So inviting the left side of the chest towards the foot, you'll feel the torso balance out a little bit more as well. Smoothing out the breath. Sometimes when the body's in this tension, when there's too much going on, right, it's hard to find peace. So back out and move step by step. One thing at a time, one depth at a time, right? Letting the breath just gently draw you further in to this peaceful state of where you currently are and what you're currently doing. That is how we create peace, and the only way to create peace more is to practice doing it. That's it. No big secret here. Well, sometimes it feels like it, right? Walk the hands up nice and easy. Sitting up tall. Taking that left arm up and over. Root it down into the earth, a little further forward than your shoulder, so at a bit of an angle behind you. And as you lift up, your shoulder will naturally come a little more over that wrist. Getting some nice alignment here, opening the chest, opening up this right hip flexor as you press the thigh forward, relaxing the shoulders. You can bend that right elbow, pressing down through that left shin and through the left hand. And then exhale nice and easy. Take yourself down onto your seat. Take your left hand to that left knee, hug it in. Let's bring both feet up. And let's just come in and round in, give ourselves a hug. It's more of a seated child's pose. It's a nice self-soother. You know, sometimes people would think that if you're in this shape that there's something wrong. And now you can say, no, everything is good. Everything is just right. Thank you very much. Right? We're not taught to self-soothe. Because why do we need to self-soothe? We just need to buck up and get on with it. No, we don't. No, we do not. Sometimes we just need to sit, be in some stillness just for a moment. Finding what you need. That's the most important thing. That will give you strength in any situation. Rolling onto your backs. Take yourself down as smoothly as you can. Right, rocking a little side to side. We'll take another twist just because it's going to feel good. Arms are going to come out into a T. Now, place the feet down real quick and lift the hips. Send them over to the left a little. Lift the knees again. Take the left knee over the right and wrap the legs. And then take yourself over to the right. If that's too intense, unwrap the legs. Maybe bringing that right hand to the left knee. If you want to gently lift the head and turn it off towards the left, feeling just the chin kind of turn that way. Again, if it's too intense, you unwrap the legs. Bringing the head back through center. Let's bring the legs back up. And then we're going to come into a happy baby pose. You're going to unwrap those legs. Bring your hands to the outer edges of the feet. Draw the feet down. Feel the tailbone lengthen towards the front of the room. Feel the spine relax down. Kind of like we're in a yoga squat, but our hands are on our feet and our feet are on the sky, pressing in to the sky. And opening up the hips a little bit more, relaxing the shoulders. And then we're going to take it to the other side by bringing the feet down to the earth again. Lift the hips, carry them over towards the right side of the mat, lifting the knees. Again, you can take that right knee over the left and take the twist here, or you take it without the legs wrapped. So just kind of see what feels good for you and what doesn't feel good for you, and you change it. Right? Sometimes we don't really know because we're not really in it and we're not really choosing. And we kind of get into a position and we tend to just stay there because that's where we landed and I'll just figure it out from here. And that's can work sometimes, but other times we're kind of doing ourselves a disservice. We're not taking the time to see what suits us, what feels right. We can all get used to anything, even pain, even stress, right? We can think we're used to it. We just decide to live under those conditions because somehow we didn't notice that we were. So let's just start choosing the conditions we're going to live in, and let's choose peace. Letting the body soften and relax, wringing out any tension. So that we don't have to carry it on into this week. Alright, we're going to unwind, come on back through center, come back into that happy baby pose. And then bring the soles of the feet to touch. Lift your head and your shoulders, and then bring your heels down towards the inner groin. Let the knees draw forward, and then bring your head, your shoulders and head back down. And then just let the spine relax towards the earth. Let the shoulders relax. And then we're going to start to bring the hands away from the feet and lower the feet towards the earth. And then we're going to take the feet out to the corners. And you're going to kind of walk the seat in, each side of the seat towards each other. And then the heart is going to lift just by walking the shoulders underneath. Just have that natural curve in the spine happening. And let the palms face open. If you want to grab a blanket and do that and just kind of hang out here for a bit in Shavasana longer than we might, feel free to grab that blanket and just get cozy. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Coming into our final pose of Shavasana. Allowing yourself to truly be here until you're called out. And let me call you out. Even if I call you out and you say, nah, I'm going to stay, then you stay. But let me take you out of Shavasana so that you're giving yourself permission to stay until there's that cue from someone else, right? Just allow yourself, rather than your first thought to get you up. Let it be my voice. Follow your breath in and out through your nose. Allowing yourself to truly be here. 60 seconds. That's all it will be. If you choose to stay where you are, please do. Otherwise, begin to bring a little bit more attention to your breath. Bring a little bit of movement to your fingertips and toes. Maybe turning the head gently from side to side. Reaching the arms up and over the head. Walk the legs in nice and easy. Take a nice long body stretch. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And then just kind of rock back and forth a little. And bring the soles of the feet down just behind the sit bones. Let your arms come long, walk your shoulders underneath your heart. Then we're going to roll the hips up towards the sky. So gentle bridge pose, maybe walk the shoulders further under, maybe take hold of the hands underneath the body into a bind. Just a couple breaths here. Feel the earth beneath the feet, beneath the arms and the shoulders and the head. The heart gently lifting. Exhale, roll the spine back down to the earth. Draw the knees in. Bring your right hand behind your head, lifting your head gently. Bring the head back down to the earth. And then roll yourself over to the right. And let your left hand just come down to the earth. And just round yourself in, tuck in. Noticing how you're feeling. Letting your body truly be in this shape and letting your mind be in this current moment. Using the strength of this left hand, pressing down into the earth. Keep your eyes closed for just a moment as you rise up. Find a comfortable seat. Cross-legged. If you're still in Shavasana, enjoy it. If you're here seated, ready to move on with your next, whatever, be in it as fully as you were in this practice, or practice to be in it as fully. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Let your fingers tip in, let your chin bow. Peace. Finding it, right, even in the trouble, even in the noise, even in the hard work. It's always there. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Namaste. Thank you, my friends, good souls. Until next time, see you on the mat.